Well, 2023 was a great year, full of fun projects and good times. And so I wanted to take an opportunity to look back and reflect on what happened this past year. And for me, that helps to develop goals and objectives for the new year to come. So if you're new to the channel in 2023, this might be a good way to catch up, see a glimpse of something that you missed. And if you're a longtime viewer that doesn't miss an episode, then don't worry, because I'll throw in some never before seen footage as well. I'll talk about some of my most frequently asked questions, share with you what happened in 2023 that made me frustrated, and I'll tell you what my favorite video of the year was too. Plus, I want to talk about my plans and goals for the channel in 2024. So, all right, it was a very memorable year, so let's get into it.
Dig Drive DIY!
Well, starting out the year, my main goal was consistency. I wanted to release a video every Sunday in 2023 without missing. And if you're watching this on December 31st of 2023, then I hit it. That's 53 videos in a row. But I needed a project for the winter time. It's hard to start in the winter. So I decided to restore a couple of the John Deere 318 garden tractors that I had and build my ultimate dream garden tractor. And this was really a childhood dream of mine to do one that was different than everything else you've seen. So as a result, we got Bruno. Bruno is my John Deere Construction Yellow 318 garden tractor. And for this project, I challenged myself to work on it every day, no matter how little or how much I could get done. So it took me 130 days from the time I started, just before the start of the year, until it was completely finished, and you have what you see here. It works great, but it's filthy dirty. I'm ready to put it away for the year, so I'm just gonna get it cleaned up, and I'll talk about a few of the most common questions and comments I get about this tractor. You know, what's interesting is, before I painted this, I'd never washed this tractor before. You know, it was kind of used and abused and rough looking, and I never worried about keeping it clean. So in a way, this is kind of nice. In a way, it's kind of a pain, but the nice outweighs the pain. It's fun to wash something when it looks good. The three biggest questions I got. Number one, are you gonna put a mower deck on it? And the answer to that is no. This will never have a mower deck. This tractor was built for dirt work and primarily for pulling my pull-type gearbox. The second question is, why did you paint it yellow? I painted it yellow because I love John Deere construction equipment, and they always made some industrial John Deere tractors. I thought it'd be cool to have a John Deere that was painted in the industrial yellow. I've been wanting to do that since I was a little kid. Probably by far the most common question I've gotten, what size tires did you put on that tractor? Well, I covered that when I did the videos, but for those that were wondering, the fronts are 18 by 8.5 by 8 inch. Wetterstein V61 tires on John Deere 420 style rims. I had to change out the hubs and the bearings. The rears are Carlisle True Powers. They're 26 by 12 inch rim. These came off of like a 1023 or 1025R. I bought them used, so the offset may be a little bit different, but that's what they're from. All right, it's time to rinse it off. The biggest takeaway I took from working on this Bruno project, and I think a lot of viewers did too after watching it, was just that the mindset to work on something every day until it was done was huge for me. I'd never really done that before, even though I thought it was a good idea. But that commitment and my obligation to make videos about it really helped me to get this done, because I've been wanting to do it basically for the last 20 years and I never have. If you got a project that you're wanting to work on, all I can tell you is just make a commitment to yourself and then hold yourself accountable. You have to not want to let yourself down. It's time to put this away for the winter. I need the real estate here in the shop. With a properly placed blanket, that'll hibernate quite nicely.
But I didn't feel like I should put out a Bruno video every week. And there were still lots of other projects to do. So we mixed in a bunch of DIY stuff in between those and then all throughout the year, really. There is never a shortage of projects, so it was easy to stay busy. But There was that one time I was gone and Dad took over the channel for 1 week and he got his new tractor all made over and ready to be put to work.
Bricks for Grandma's new flower box. Well, the planter box is done. The tractor's looking good. I'm happy with it. And if we're lucky, we'll see you in the next one.
Of course, whenever we need to clear our minds and get a little exercise, there's always firewood to cut, split, or stack. So we got to keep that hungry boiler fed. There were a handful of big projects this year that happened away from home too. The first one was some major upgrades to our local Harlan Park. The Harlan Park is where a good portion of our family spends a huge amount of their time. The spring is full of ball games and good times, and then almost every weekend at the park feels like a family reunion. And then late summer brings us the fun of Harlan Days. There was also that great big grain bin project that we did at work. My good friend and boss, Greg, he made some major upgrades to their farming operation, and it was a lot of fun documenting the entire process. But of course, by far, the biggest project of the entire year and the source for a good majority of this year's content was our big backyard pond project. These videos brought a lot of new viewers to the channel, and I've been humbled by all the positive reactions. The pond series has been great. Not only is it a really cool project, but I think it'll be a great place to make many memories for hopefully years to come.
So one of the most popular questions we get in the comments about the pond, and this is a good question, legitimate question, is how are you going to keep corn stalks out of the water? And yeah, we knew that was a problem. We've lived in the middle of the cornfield for the last 20 years. But the answer is we don't have a great solution yet. We know how we can tackle the ones that get in there for now.
This is better than fishing because I catch something every time.
But we'd like to come up with a seasonal solution. So we don't have corn every year. We've got a corn-soybean rotation. On soybean years, it won't be quite as bad. And once the crop starts growing in the corn stalks, it's not as bad. So we kind of need like a snow fence for the corn stalks, or a corn fence. So I'll be looking for suggestions if you got any great ideas or great solutions, but we thought about possibly putting like a snow fence or a short fence right along the pine trees right here to act as a corn fence or snow fence. And I think that would eliminate a lot of it, but it'd need to come out when it's time to mow the grass. So that's one idea. I don't want a real big one and I don't want an orange one. So if somebody knows of something that's kind of nice looking, I'd be interested in that. Another question we get a lot is, what about an overflow? What are you going to do if the pond gets too full? Well, that's probably not likely to happen, but in the event that it does, this is our overflow. This is connected to one of the tiles that I actually dug out of the center of the pond. So if this gets too full, it'll run out of here. And another popular comment is you need a ladder or a way to get onto the pier. Totally agree. It's not something we forgot about. We just haven't done it yet. I really don't want to have a ladder attached to the top of this. It would kind of change the look that we're going for. So what we hope to do is, I want to make a set of stainless steel steps that go along the bank, and you'd come around this side and you'd be able to walk up a set of steps that are anchored to the sidewalk, and that's going to be our way in and out. So look for that hopefully this summer too. Otherwise, we're just waiting for good weather. It's December 27th today. Happy birthday, Aaron. It's beautiful. It's like 50 degrees. It's tempting. But another question we get a lot is, does it get cold enough here that you can ice skate on it? Well, normally it does. We can only hope that it will, because we're looking forward to that this winter too. But so here's the deal on this pond. It is going to require maintenance, a lot of maintenance. Our focus now will just be how to minimize the amount of maintenance, like with a fence or, solutions that can reduce that. Maybe it's a pond skimmer, maybe it's a filtration of some sort. Aeration is a big help too, but that's the next quest. The next part of this whole pond project is figuring out how to make it manageable.
The Pond series on YouTube also launched a new presence on TikTok and even Facebook. The problem is I never started a TikTok, and nor did I share really anything on Facebook yet. So that was a good source of frustration. I remember the first time that someone came up to me and told me they enjoyed watching my TikToks of the pond build. And I said, "Oh, you mean my YouTube videos?" And they said, "Oh, I didn't know you had a YouTube channel too." So no, I was just watching them on TikTok. And well, imagine my surprise when I went to TikTok and found a whole entire Dig Drive DIY channel that was repurposing and reusing all of our videos. So it's weird to see stolen DDD content on other platforms, and turns out there's not much I can do about it. But fortunately, they didn't steal every video and repost it. For example, they didn't steal my favorite video of the year, which is the one I did about the little red Corvette.
This car, you gotta wear shades.
This wasn't my most watched video of the year, but it was probably one of the best stories I've told of the year. I won't spoil the ending just in case you missed it, but if you did, you should go check out that video. It's not just about a Corvette. But if you did see that video, then you probably know why it's my favorite. As much work as there is to do and get done around here and other places, we can't forget about taking time to spend it with those we care about. So here's a look back at some of the best times of 2023. And in this is a handful of clips that I've never shared on YouTube before.
What are we doing today?
Skiing.
Huh?
Skiing.
You ready to do it?
Yeah.
You guys look good in your little ski outfits. It's cold? Well, we'll get better. It'll get better.
So yeah, 2023 was most definitely a memorable year. I wouldn't be able to make these videos without the help and support of my entire family, so much of the credit goes to them for putting up with this YouTube stuff. I also want to thank my nephew Trent for helping me to get these videos done on time every week and put out. So thanks, Trent. And in regards to the channel, well, it was our biggest year of growth so far. And I have all of you viewers to thank for that. I'm constantly humbled by the number of folks that find the channel and feel compelled to follow along with whatever it is we're doing. And reading the comments from all over the globe never gets old. It is so rewarding getting to interact with viewers that give of their time to watch and comment. So in 2024, my goal is to just maintain the momentum. I want to stay consistent, but my focus has always been quality over quantity, but I'd really like to expand our content to multiple platforms. Instead of letting the pirates steal our content and post it for themselves over there, we might as well have a legitimate presence on Facebook and Instagram, maybe even TikTok, but I'm not sure about TikTok though. I'm not a huge fan. But in terms of projects, for this winter at least, I got a couple dump trucks that need some TLC. So that'll be one of the first things I do, is try to get that F-750 built into the truck that I've always envisioned. It needs to be done. I've also got plans for an entirely new wood yard. Since we built the pond in our backyard, we've decided that the giant wood pile within eyeshot of the beach just doesn't match the aesthetic that we're really going for back there. So I struck up a deal with the farmer, and I've started the process of moving my entire firewood operation off-site.
Clear over here. So I was able to work out a deal. This little strip of land across the road from our house is difficult for them to farm anyway. It's really narrow and their big equipment is almost too big. So I'm going to turn this into my wood yard, and it's not necessarily for content, it's just to make things cleaner over there on our place. And this will be a nice spot. It's close to home. I can still run everything across the road. I can still work firewood over here, but I'm going to have to figure out a system. But I'm excited about this because this presents an opportunity to do something different.
That move itself will lead to a whole new way of handling and working my firewood. Plus it gives us a clean palette to change things up out back, get rid of that firewood pile and the junk piles. You know what, that'd be a great place for like a new storage shed too. But the pond area will be the continuing project for this summer as we try to build out what Kara keeps referring to as our backyard paradise. So we'll see how it goes. But beyond that, I'm sure there'll be plenty of other projects that come along. I know my wife has a list of things to do in there, so there's no risk of getting bored. But until then, I'd like to thank you again so much for being here. I'm truly grateful for all of this, and if I'm lucky, I will see you in the next one. Happy New Year, and take care.